Okay, let's talk about racing. And the question of do we need the latest equipment, chassis, electronics, and do we need to spend a lot of money in order to win races in in our era? So this is 2022. Happy New Year to everyone. And I would say if you're on, I guess I would say club level, national level, I think uh, oh, you don't need the latest equipment. All right. So one example is this. This is the Tamiya TA05. This is from 2005. That's around 16 years ago. And currently, I believe this is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, uh, car racing in the 21.5 Blinky class in my country. It won the biggest race in 2021 against modern cars like the Awesomatix, the Xray, the Mugens with the newer designs, but it still won, and it was pretty fast. So I would say, as long as you have a decent chassis, a lot of speed is due to the driver and the setup. And of course, we talked about tires a while back. Assuming we have the right tires, body, equipment, on the chassis, it's about setting up the correct amount of flex, the correct amount of spring rates, roll centers, lower the center of gravity, and so on. So there's a lot of things we can do with old cars. So take this one. If you notice, the design of the TA05 is actually similar to the new in vogue designs of mid motors. So you can see the belts are equal length. Motor is almost at the center, and I actually like it here. I like the setup of the TA05 in terms of the transmission design. It's like a modern car. I think the main difference here is probably still uses the old style suspension, hinge pin suspension. We can probably lower. The shocks are pretty low actually on the TA05. But I think the modern cars have it a little lower with shorter shocks, but it helps. But what can I do with this car? So everything mounted lower. Mount your electronics very low. Keep everything low. Uh, Try to use low profile batteries. Make your wires short. And yeah, there's a lot of things we can do without spending a lot of money. If you notice, it's an old hobby wing. The servo is not the fastest. So I've watched videos where some would say, if you use the more expensive $150 servo, it's zero point 0.3 seconds faster than this servo. Oh, come on. That's very, yeah, I don't know what to say. So this is the servo my daughter used to win our biggest race last year. Not the expensive servo. This is a Das Micro clone of a Sanwa receiver, and this is like $20. So it's nothing expensive. Yeah, so I just wanted, hopefully this gives encouragement that if you have an older car, uh, there's hope for it. You don't really need the newest car or spend a lot to be competitive if you want to race. Maybe on a world championship level, this car is not going to be good enough. But I think on your country level, club racing, old cars are still more than good enough, assuming you have the right tires and the right setup. And setup is free. I mean, relatively, it's all about knowledge, trial and error. It's not about buying something. It's about learning the knowledge to set up your car. So if let me just go through quickly then. Well, what's our setup? So we have a spool in front, means there's no differential. Even in the blinky class, we use a spool. Here, the rear is a gear diff around, not too hard, not too soft, probably around 3000 K oil. I like to use long camber links to give the car more stability. This one is homemade. I made upper deck made of 3mm fiberglass rods with just a ball end. Keeps the chassis stiff this way so the belt does not flex. Gives more forward traction. At the same time, it allows the car to flex this way, which helps with giving more traction, more stability, in my opinion. Springs are just, I used the modern shorter springs, 2.5 to 2.8 progressive front, and I think this is around 2.9 rear. SMJ springs. I used the short spring to make the car more reactive, more faster transition, because our track is a medium-size, somewhat technical layout. What else? I mean, nothing really special. The arms are Tamiya. I do run without a front sway bar, so it's disconnected because it depends. If you feel you need more steering, and that's what my driver tells me, so I just remove the sway bar. Perfectly fine. I mean, yeah, there's no need to use it if it doesn't, you don't need to use it. Yeah, so oils is, I try to use light oil like 350 CST hoodie oil. Relatively soft dampening. The body is just a Tamiya NSX. I did try to lighten the weight by cutting the chassis out at the bottom. It also gives a little more flex. It uses the plastic tub chassis, not the carbon fiber reinforced tub. That one felt too stiff, and my car did not run well. So I went back to the plastic chassis, which is actually better in our testing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So hopefully, yeah, this inspires you to still, have the confidence that it's not really the car. If you're losing a race, it's probably could be the driving. You practice more, improve the driving skill, or improve your setup skills. More so than buying a new car, spend lots of money, yet if your setup is not good and your driving is not that good, the result will be the same. So I suggest, don't really focus too much on buying the latest, most expensive equipment to try to win, trying to buy speed. And there's still a lot of speed left in the old designs. All right, if you have a question, just again, leave it in the comments. Yeah, it's a nice car, this TA05, amazing. So the design from 15 years ago can still win races today. We still use it, and yeah, it still wins. All good, all good. The screws, the gold screws, these are just very cheap screws, titanium coat, I think titanium. Bought it online. Just like the color contrast with the black chassis. Setup is 3.7 FDR. And degree timing is around 45 on the motor, surpass V5. Important to cool the motor in the blinky class. So I put just channel the air towards the motor. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope this gives you some ideas or helps you with your own setups. And see you in the next video. Cheers.